Okay, we're going to go ahead and start just because I want to be punctual. And I know many of you have team members or whatever, power partners, whatever, going to join this as, it's still lunch hour for many of you. And don't worry, I'm going to monitor that in the back and make sure everyone gets added in. Thank you for being part of this lunch and learn. Gosh, we never know. Sometimes we'll have 40 to 200 on here. It's crazy, but we do record it. I have a Facebook group. If you're new, if this is your first lunch and learn, we do this mostly every Thursday, unless, events or whatever are happening, but we record them, then we put them on YouTube. The YouTube channel is literally my name. Then we have a Facebook group that I will post there. And I'm part naturally of some Voxer groups and some Facebook groups like the Mary Kay Go Give, things like that. And I will post the recording in there also. So wherever you saw this, if you happen to do that and saw me post, it'll be there too. I'll put them in those places, but I love you all so much and thank you for inviting me in all the different groups, but I just can't add anymore. I'm too ADD for that. And I would just sit on my phone all day and do that. So thank you for joining. Thank you for making this so successful. And we have the honor and privilege to learn from one of the greatest today. I've admired her from afar. She's incredible. Diane is the real deal. She's literally what Mary Kay wanted when she envisioned passing on her company to women of excellence. And so I want to thank you so much for your Go Give Heart because this literally goes all around the Mary Kay world. It's crazy when someone told me they translate it sometimes and send it to their people in other countries. I'm like, that's amazing to me and this really just started as kind of a fun thing and then it kind of grew into what it is now. And so any way that I feel we can all gather as a tribe and community to inspire each other, I think it's incredible. And Diane, this truly is a Go Give thing. You get nothing out of it. And I just really, really admire you. I respect you. I appreciate you so much for all the years that you've poured into Mary Kay's world, but also today for all of us. And that's all I'm going to say, because sometimes people incorporate their training with their I story, and I never take that away from them. So thank you
Sounds
again
great.
for doing that.
Yay. Well, thank you guys for being on, whether you're watching this live or in a recording. But I really prayed about this and I wanted to add value to your day and to your business. And what I know is I have to speak from my heart because I believe because you are in this company and you are a director, you have the tools and in the toolbox that you can actually, if you need to learn how to do a virtual party, if you need to learn how to book appointments or any of that, or how to team build, you have resources to help you. I think you would all agree to that. But what sometimes we don't have is we don't have that vision. Because I've been in this company it'll be 43 years in April, and I've had a free car for 41 and a half years. Like I've always had a free car. It has not always been the pink Cadillac. It's been every kind of car, every level I have earned. Okay. And I've worked Mary Kay through highs, lows, and peaks and valleys, and finally went on my first top director trip after I'd been in the company over 32 years. And so I want to tell you that 10 years ago, I was in a space where I was in my equinox and I'd been a cheer coach for 10 years, plus my Mary Kay, like juggling life. And I decided I wanted to take my man on a top director trip and earn my first $500,000 ring, which you'll see there. Like that was what I wanted to do. And I wanted to take him on a trip. I didn't care where we went. So I just wanted to go. I wanted to be in the space of top directors and I wanted to take him with me. And so I want to share with you from going from the Equinox to the Cadillac, and that we went Equinox and we did 350 that year and earned the Cadillac. Then we did 500,000. Then we did 800. Then we did 1,000,000. Then we've done 8 ever since. And the number one thing, I hope you will take notes. Mary Kay used to say the faintest ink is better than the most retentive memory. And I was taught by Mary Kay. And so write it down. If you're ever in a workshop with your red jackets, take notes because they're watching you to see if you're taking notes. So, but one thing, the biggest thing is if you will take God as your partner, like truly pray about your business, pray big and ask God to equip you. Ask him before you do booking calls and marketing chats and pray for people and be authentic, but take God as your partner. And my whole motto has been think big, pray big, and believe big. But you got to dream big and pray big. And then you got to do the work because you got to give God something to bless. Okay. And if you have not read Mary Kay's book, Mary Kay on People Management. You guys, you've got to read it, because guess what? Her principles, I'm going to read to you a few of the chapters. It's go give, the invisible sign, make me feel important. You know, everybody has a sign around their neck. Nothing happens until somebody sells. Be a follow through person. This is why you need to read her book at least once a year, Mary Kay on People Management. Order it today if you don't have it, because you've got to put in your headspace the right things. And this is true, you guys, that what I saw as I moved up to earn my first, to get to 500,000, well, to get to the Cadillac again, to do 500,000 and then earn the trip, was the way I thought and the way I acted. I had to have more activity. And remember, I'm just going to tell you like it is, you guys, the speed of the leader is the speed of the game. If you do not do the work, you cannot expect results to happen. But are you doing the right work? That's what I would say. So number one is take God as your partner and pray big. Now, the number two most important thing is, are you feeding your mind with good things? Like y'all are, because you're listening, you're taking the time to listen to something like this. But do you also like read scripture? Do you read, like, I just am in the process of working through Atomic Habits, an amazing book by James Clear. Like, I'd highly recommend Atomic Habit. Like, we have to learn to be skilled, and especially skilled in areas that maybe we're not as strong at. Take care of your mind, feed your soul. And then I want to ask you, are you living out your values? Write that down. Are you living out your values? Where you spend your time, your energy, your resources, you know, your money, all of that. Are you living those values out? Because what I've really tried to do over the years is have harmony in my life. Now, I may not always have balance. You know, people talk about balance. I think it's a misnomer. Like, harmony is what we work for, because there's going to be times like when you're pushing for a deadline, we might work a little bit more, right? Or you have a big goal to finish. But then we're going to try to ebb and flow through the harmony of life. So I really want to challenge you with learn to do time blocking, so that when you can live out your values, you actually put things in your calendar, like call that friend, or call those team members, or book the parties, or go on a walk with your dog, go to that wellness class, like, because your health is your wealth, you guys. Like, and I would tell you, are you drinking enough water? Do you take 10,000 steps? Do you know what your activity level? Do you move your body if you're able to? Like, I think the key is we have to take care of us if we're going to help other people. So really think about that. One other thing I was taught when I was young in Mary Kay is my sales will support my business. Like, my profit from my sales, not my director check. My director check is for my family. So if I want to run a promotion, if I want to buy stamps, if I want to pay for Creatively Pink to do my emails, or whatever I'm going to pay for, project broadcast, all of these things that are tools in our business, Zoom, I'm going to pay for those out of my selling, not from my director check. My director check is my family. That is our money that I'm going to tithe off of. And then, I'm a little bit older than probably a lot of you on here. If I could tell you to save minimum of 10% of every director check off the top, save for your taxes, set it in an account, save 10%, make sure you tithe, take your 10% as savings, and then make sure you're saving for your taxes every single month. And I would just shoot them out before I did anything else when it hits me on the 1st and the 15th, and you put that 10% into your tax account, 10% into your savings, and do some SEP IRAs or IRAs or whatever your accountant tells you to do with your savings. You will be glad when you're my age that you manage your money well in Mary Kay. Don't give away your profit, you guys. And sometimes I think, directors, I did not run huge, big promotions to have growth on my team. Can I just tell you that? I do a lot of recognition. Mary Kay says everybody has a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. I do a lot of verbal recognition, posting and Facebook recognition, email recognition, write notes like Mary Kay Ash did. I mean, I still do all of that, but I don't spend a lot of money on big time gifts and promos. But that would just be my feeling. You can do whatever you want. It's your business. But I just really want you to value the business that you're running and run it like a business. If you need help with money management, set up an appointment with like National Sales Director Emeritus Robin Rowland. She is the guru in Mary Kay. Robin Rowland has wisdom beyond wisdom. If you need that kind of help, there's so much help out there. the key is you got to learn just to network just a little bit. Okay. So make sure you're managing your money well. So you're going to take care of you. You're going to live out your values. You're going to time block and really put things on your calendar that matter to you. Super important. And then this is a book I read 10 and a half years ago when I made the jump from going from my Equinox into the Cadillac. So maybe you're in no car. Maybe you need to get you're requalifying for a car. Maybe you're trying to get to Equinox. Maybe you're in the Cadillac. I don't know where you are or where you want to go. But what I do know is this book taught me to think bigger. Susan Moore is a friend of mine. She was an adoptee she was #1 in the nation 8 years ago. And she became a director by being an adoptee on my team. And so when I wanted to go on my first trip and I wanted to move to $500,000 and move up and go on a trip with her and Mark, I just said to her, what do I need to do? And she just we talked about thinking bigger. And this was a book she recommended, Circle Maker by Mark Batterson. I think I read it 3 times the year we went from Equinox to Cadillac because I was just like immersing myself. And you guys, I have highlighted in this book, like we're talking highlight big time. And then I followed it with the 40-day prayer. He has another 40-day prayer challenge. Like these changed the way I thought. And it changed the way I prayed. I've done Bible study fellowship and I'm doing it right now, studying the book of John. And over the years, my kids were in kids BSF many years ago. I took a break and then I've come back to it. Like all I can say is praying about everything. Like God knows anyway, but I want you to really learn to dream big, pray big, and believe big. Because when you do that and raise your level of thinking, and that is what Susan Moore helped me to do when I made the jump from Equinox to Cadillac. So it doesn't matter if you're trying to go from here to Grand Achiever, if you're trying to go from Grand Achiever to Equinox, it doesn't matter where you're going. You've got to learn to think big, and then you've got to impart that on your team. Okay, so are we all into thinking big and dreaming big and believing big? Okay, because then you will take the action necessary. And you have to really think when you're doing income producing activities, are you thinking about Mary Kay? Are you really doing the activity that needs, like, am I following up? I'm a big proponent of there is fortune in the follow-up, and it takes 7 touches to get that sale or get that booking sometime. I mean, you guys, the world is a little different over the years. Would you agree that people don't return calls, they don't return texts, they don't return emails, they don't do anything? So I've got to send a phone call and leave a voicemail. Then I have to leave a text that says, hey girl, left you a voicemail, would love to connect with you. And then I might have to go to Facebook Messenger. And then I might go back to email. And then I might go back to calling and texting again. And then you just keep working it till you get them. And these are people that are like, even some of these people are my friends and people I know and people whatever. But I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I miss a text on my phone, like I miss something. And I have to say, oh my gosh, I thought I replied to you, right? So people are living in a world where they're getting bombarded with emails and texts we sign up to get their coupons. So we got on everybody's thing, right? Well, you have to compete with that. So it's repetition and follow through, and write this down. There is fortune in the follow-up. Teach your people that, and teach your people that it takes 7 touches before they're going to get anything. And then you have got to be a smart businesswoman. You're an entrepreneur. Like, I want you to automate your communication. And I'm not here to promote anybody's business. I can only tell you what I do and what has worked for me. And I have somebody that creates emails that go out at the first of the month. There's an end of month. She'll do a customer email. And I use Angela Raven with Creatively Pink. Does a great job. It's economical. It's not based on your unit size, which I really appreciate. There's other people out there. Just find somebody that can do an email for you so you're not touching those kind of things. Okay, so you need automation. Do you have a texting service? I'm a big proponent of Project Broadcast. In fact, I'm sorry, Mary Kay promotes Scipio, but I've used them all, and Project Broadcast meets more of my needs. And you guys, on the top, you find out a lot of good things on the Top Director trip. That's why you want to go. Like you get to meet corporate people. Mary Kay was going to pick Project Broadcast, but they couldn't because one of their top employees has a wife in Mary Kay. So they couldn't pick Project Broadcast. It went out of the running. So that was a bummer. So just so you know, whether you're using Scipio or whatever you use, you got to have automation so that your A3s, all these people are getting automated text messages. And I will tell you, I go in and personalize them. I go in and change. I don't care that my company that Angela creates all this stuff. I'm going to go check the wording because you can go to scheduled posts and I can tweak whatever I want. So remember, I don't tweak them every month because I can go in and tweak them permanently, so you just got to learn how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, then you hire somebody like Curtis Hanna or whatever that is going to teach you how to do it. Like, these are just tools, you guys. You got to have tools in your toolbox because if you're doing all this minutia stuff, then you don't have time to connect with your people. And then you don't have time, like, this is a note that's going out today. Like, I do personalized birthday cards. That's the one, like, I have a Mary Kay quote on the back. My daughter makes them. I have a daughter who's a photographer and we write our wording. We have a picture of me and my husband. Like, but I only personalize my top people. And then my assistant writes them for everybody else. Like, my top 20 get me personalized. So I have to do like 2 or 3 today. And my assistant sends me a text message. Don't forget to mail those, because she does the others, right? Automate as much as you can. And because what I can tell you is, if you want to grow and you want to have bigger, then you got to have systems. So write that down. If you don't have systems for texting, emailing, birthday cards, letters, all that, you're not going to be with the people. And you are good with people or you wouldn't be a director. So you want to be with the people. Okay. So we're going to automate our emails, our texts, our birthday, whatever it takes. And I will tell you, a top director told me that I wouldn't be able to keep this up, like personalizing as my team got bigger. I said, no, I am going to personalize. My top 20 that are my key people, they get a personal phone call that Steve and I sing happy birthday on their birthday every year. And it is a reminder in my phone because these people are the closest people to me. They are my friends. They're like family. And what does Mary Kay say? I want them to feel so important and valued. It's their favorite call of the day. It's a reminder on my phone at 9 a.m. You just go into your phone and you put a reminder and you put it yearly. Okay. So I just tell you, I believe the reason why I've had longevity in this company as a director for over 40 years is because I've created relationships and connecting with people. And my people live all over the US. Like, I've only been here a year. I'm not, Devin, we travel so much. We have 12 grandkids. I mean, I work all over, but I'm just saying, you have got to build these ties and relationships. Okay. So the other thing I would encourage you, make sure you have different assistants doing different things. I learned this from like Sue Kirkpatrick, these legends in Mary Kay that taught you got to put people on the right seat in the bus. You don't hire one assistant to do all your stuff. If she gets sick and she goes down, you're hosed. So you have to have different people do different things. Like, I have a girl that lives in Texas. She mails out gifts. And like, if I do an event and we have winners, she mails all those gifts out. Okay. So you got to learn to figure it out. So I ship everything to her. She has all the wrapping stuff. She does it all. I do mail a few things out. Like today I have to do 2 because I have something on my shelf that I actually want to give. I do Facebook drawings from my team for if we do a commenting thing, because sometimes, do you guys ever want more activity in your Facebook group for your people? Then I would call you and I would say, hey, Monica, I know you've been doing some good things. Would you do me a favor? Other people will learn and be encouraged by you. Would you take a picture of some of those things and just make a post? And Monica, I don't want you putting on there, Diane told me to post this. I just want you to post it as you. And I want you to know you get an extra drawing in the weekly drawing, because I'm trying to promote them being encouraging of each other. So so I would call like 5 people individually, and I would just say to them, I'm like, Sandy, you are always so encouraging other people. I love when you make comments. Thank you for doing that. Would you keep that up? And then we just do random drawings twice a month, and the people that have the highest comments, and I'll be honest, here's what we do. My assistant keeps a list, and we make sure that the top 10 to 15 commenters, they're getting a gift every other, we make sure they're in the rotation of winning, because it's so hard to track all those little numbers and hash marks, right? But we keep a running list, and my assistant does that. I do not touch it. But we do look at who's the encourager, because you guys, those little cheerleaders on your team are going to impact the algorithms, but you might have to make some individual phone calls. So will you do that? So remember, different assistants to do different things. I have a techie girl that might help me with emails. Like my daughter-in-law, my actual daughter helps me make the personalized birthday cards. And these are expensive. They're probably, well, I think they are, because I have to buy them once a year, but they're $1 or something, which isn't really very much, but I'm just saying it's really nice paper. Like, find a way to make it personal. The other thing is I put my picture on everything, because my out-of-town people hardly ever see me. So they got to see me. So I want to ask you, are you going live in your Facebook group? Do you make a video? Like my service, Creatively Pink, I can take my phone on VibeCloud. I can make a video. Hey, blah, blah, blah. I make a less than minute video. I pop it in that beginning of the month email. I pop it into the end of the month email, and they get to see me in a 1-minute video. You got to make your video short. Can I just tell you, short, or else nobody will listen. Okay. So let them see you. If you don't feel comfortable, just start doing it. You'll feel better. So make videos that you can text out and email. Most all of these services have a way, or have an app. I can literally put this on my ring light, or I can hold it up in good light and make a quick video with the VibeCloud app. If any of you have Creatively Pink, the app is fabulous. Okay. So make sure you utilize these tools. Remember, everything's about personalization. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a challenge. I want you to build your personal recruits up to 50. I don't know where you're at. Maybe you're at 10, 20, 30, 40. I don't know where you're at, but would you build it to 50? Then you would have a unit within a unit. Like, you guys remember, 24 to 30 people is not a big enough unit to pull the production you need to make money. So you've got to build your numbers. So you've got to focus on growth. And I want you to write this down. Everything revolves around product, because the growth in new team members comes from putting product on faces, either virtually or in person. And you guys have done it both ways. I do some of virtual parties with samples. I do the majority without. And then you can do in person, you can do whatever. But remember, the product and showing product leads to new team members. So if you're ever in doubt what to do, go put product on faces. If a consultant is stuck, challenge her to do an in-person or virtual appointment. Everything revolves around the product. Okay. So you got to build your team to 50, your personal team. You guys, you make the most money that way too. Okay. From a business standpoint, because you get that personal team. I mean, you get it all, and you get the $100 bonus. So make sure everybody gets qualified. If they only start with a 300, get them selling, give them a script, like I've been handing out that spring lookbook, not handing it. I'm texting it. I texted it out already to 3 people this morning, because I'm on the phone with them. I say, hey girl, have you sent the spring lookbook out to all your customers? Okay. So she was telling me she was going to get her hair done after work. I said, okay, while you're at work, you're getting your hair done, I want you to send 5 to 5 customers. Send them a little note. Say, hey, check out the new spring. Tell your people how to sell.
Oh,
Like I'm always getting people to, you got to get them to, when they sell product, things happen. That's how you got it. So I even coached her, make sure you pack your tote bag, put product in it and lookbook so you can be handing them out at the hair salon. Like, make sure you're teaching them what you already know. Okay. Show them what you do. Like, I hold up lookbooks and I hold up little things and I show them, these are in my bag today. How many do you think I should give out? Like, pop into your Facebook group, let them see a little pampering packet that you've made. You guys, I keep things so simple. Sometimes I just have a little hand cream in a little drawstring bag, and it's simple. Sometimes I don't even have the drawstring bag. I just have one of those black zippered bags our mirrors come in, and hand cream are stuffed in there with my label on them. And then what I do is I just say, do you text? I teach my people to just say, do you text? And if they text, then they can send them their virtual business card or whatever they have, right? I mean, it's simple. It's simple, but you got to keep this business simple for people. Okay, one last thing I want to share with you is I want to teach you how to track. I know I've given you a lot of, I've just like tried to, because I only have like a couple more minutes and I want to value your time. But everything revolves around selling. That will build you the team members, and you got to have a goal. And let me just tell you, when I went from Equinox to Cadillac, from August to March, when we earned the Cadillac, in January, I wanted to quit. I cried. Like, this was not easy. Like, I just was like, I want to go back to not having a goal. But I'm telling you today, I'm glad I stuck with it. I even called one of my friends who's and had become a national. I said, Alicia, I just want to stop. Tell me it's worth it. And she goes, keep going, Diane. It will be so worth it. And but literally, I had to pull off the side of the road, you guys. I was crying so hard because I was out putting out lead boxes, you know. And like, you do whatever it takes. But I'd been doing a lot of team building and nobody had said yes in January. I found that very discouraging. And I'm trying to win my Cadillac. I want to take Steve on a trip, right? Like, nothing is happening. But then the next month, I got a gold medal. And some of those people that had said no became yeses. I had 7 qualified in March to finish the Cadillac. We never did Cadillac production until that last month. And if I hadn't been out personally recruiting and doing the work, that Cadillac wouldn't have happened. We wouldn't have hit 350 and we wouldn't have had the momentum to move into 500,000. And that was, you guys, Mary Kay was smart. The speed of the leaders, the speed of the game. So once I got those 7, 8 new team members, I tried to get every one of a new recruit. Like, you want seniors on your team. That's why I built wide. You got to have, you're going to have your superstars, but you guys focus on the people that are getting 1s and 2s and 3s and build them to red. If they have a recruit, they're going to stay in our company a lot longer. So just know that you build the team, you build it, they will come. Nobody on my team cared that I wanted to be back in the Cadillac. Nobody. But once the momentum started happening, then they want to get on the bandwagon. Okay, so just remember that. Now, I want you to know that you can go to reports on InTouch. And I'm really old school. I still print out the printout. If you've never done this before, there is a printout that tells you everything and it shows you back like 6 months. Then it gives you a T report. Okay. And I use these all the time because if I called you this month, way to go. I love somebody thumbs up their report. Way to go, Sandy. I love it. You guys, I use this every month. I print it. And then what I do is by their name as they order, I put their order total right here. And then probably about next week, then I start putting where we were on the 15th. And I put my goal, I want 10 new, we want to do 27,000 Hawaii bound, you know, whatever your goal is, you put it. And then on the back, I've got how many 600s I want, how many 1,000 and how many new. And then I make, and so I take this everywhere, you guys. I have a clipboard. It goes everywhere. Like if I go to any appointment, I carry this in my computer everywhere I go. But we did full-time RVing for 3 years. So that was my mantra. This goes with me wherever I go, because if I have a downtime of 10 minutes, I'm going to work. Like, so that way I can play more. Like, so learn to squeeze pockets of time into what you do. I want you to learn to use this sheet. It will help you immensely. Then I go through and I circle all my T6s and T7s because I want to keep them on my team. You guys, if I didn't have all the people that were in the T's and your I, you know, all these inactive people, and then they come active, we wouldn't have finished the Cadillac. We wouldn't have finished the trip. And we wouldn't have finished million without every single one of them. So value everybody that's on your team. That's the best thing I can tell you. I have former directors on my team that still love being on our team. I've got 2 women that are in the National Court of Sales every year. And they say, thank you, Diane, for not pushing me to become a director. They're in red jackets. They don't want to be a director. They love their clients. They do a lot of other things in their community and they're happy. So let people be happy where they are, but don't make excuses. Like if you know somebody really wants more and they're being whatever, of course we push those people and we encourage and we lead them along, but also allow people. Like I have a girl that is elite future sales director. If I wanted her to become a director, she's been a director before, she would do it for me. I don't need her to do it for me, right? Like I want her to do it if it's her. But literally, when we were going for million and doing all that stuff, she said, Diane, do you think it'd be better if I became a director? I said, no, I think we're great. You know what I mean? Like she could have done that, but it wasn't in her heart, And so, but guess what she is? She's a national court of sales about every other year. Then she'll do Princess. She's the best cheerleader on the team. She loves supporting. You need the supporting cast. You need the superstars. You need the people here. And then you need every person. And like one girl called me the end of the month last month and she goes, Diane, I'm just doing a small order, whatever. I said, Kathleen, every order makes a difference to our team. You are important. So, and the year we did million, guess what she did? That girl that just did 230, and she does about 300 every couple months. She did $1,000 order when we were finishing million. Because what did she do? She went out and sold $2,000. Like she just surprised me one of the last days of June. Like she just did it for the team. So when you build relationships, but I run every month as a month end. Okay. So, all I can tell you is learn to run the race, know what you want. And then let's say your goal is 10,000 this month or 15 or whatever you're going for. If the last 7 days of the month, I break it down to what I need. And this up here in the left corner, it says orders to go. And I already have it ready, even though I won't use it till like the 21st, 22nd. And then if we're missing 10,000 production, I divide that by 400 because your average order, I bet for most of you is about 400. And then we might need 25 orders. And then we start a countdown every day in the Facebook group. So on about the 20, when we have about a week left, and I do this countdown and they all know what's happening. They're going to, in the email will be how many orders to go to reach our goal. And, and it's just the team goal, but we focus on where are you personally? What can you do? But you guys, things like this build camaraderie and teamwork. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is pick up the phone and call people. I call people all the time. And if I call them, I put LM for left message, VM for voicemail or whatever, or I might say T for talk. And I track everybody from this sheet and who I've talked to every month. And so I just want you to know that's been my secret is I make phone calls, I talk to people, and I write postcards. Like after I talk to them, I send cards out, notes out, just like Mary Kay Ash did. And I do the automated texting. So they're getting a lot of feedback from me. So I hope that helps. Go build relationships, have fun. And I hope this blessed you in some small way.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to ask you something because I know it's going to get asked and you can't take a picture of that document because it has everybody else's stuff. Okay, where did you find it? Because I'll put that with the video. Because
And what document is that?
The one you're holding. You went to reports.
Okay. And you're going to go to the parent unit report.
Okay.
It's called parent unit report.
Right.
And then you're going to print off the T status consultants and it's under monthly reports. It's under monthly. And I will tell you, this is what I use. I do a lot of stuff, phone and digital. But for me, flipping through this, if it's end of month and she just ordered last month and she only orders every 3 to 4 months, she's not my focus. She's not my focus. I'm going to talk to the girl that hadn't ordered in a while, right? So that's why this is valuable because you don't want to keep poking the bear. Like in Project Broadcast, I have a tag that is my top, more active people. Like I divide people up into A, B, and C. So that way I'm not bombarding those inactive people with a bunch of stuff that they don't want to see, right? Yeah. So remember, be smart about your communication. So print out parent unit report and T status, and these are under monthly, and they're usually in touch by the 5th.
I love that. What do you put at the top of your, because you wrote something on the back and you wrote some, I know that's what they're going to ask me.
I put the month, I put our team building goal, how many new we want, and what wholesale we're going for. And then I just put Hawaii bound. And then on the back, you're going to put because I've always encouraged people to do their $600, sell 300 a week to do 600, sell 500 a week to do 1,000. And that was something Susan Moore really helped me do, is think bigger. She goes, Diane, people aren't making enough money. If they sell 500 a week, they sell 2,000 a month, they make 800 or 900, and then they order their 1,000. We call that 1,000 a grand achiever. Okay. Grand achiever in our team is when you're a grand achiever if you wholesale 1,000 or you recruit somebody. So another form of recognition. They get a graphic. Everybody gets a graphic. When you hit 600, you get 1,000. If you have a new team member, lots and lots of recognition. And then I just list new back here. I mean, do you see how simple this is, you guys? New 600,000. So, you know, that dream big, pray big, believe big. You've got to start thinking bigger. You guys, our repair is $200. People can sell 300 a week. They can sell 500 a week, 2 repairs and a reorder. So we've got to we have to help them elevate. And that's what 8 years ago, I started this, and then we built on it, and people work to be grands, you know, so we have 600 achiever and grands, and grand is 1,000 wholesale, but we talk about 500 a week. You're selling 500 a week. I mean, you know, we talk in terms of retail and wholesale, and then I keep everything in one place. This is on a clipboard and it goes everywhere. Like I have so many tote bags on every top director trip. I find, like in Barcelona, I found this awesome leather, should have brought it out here. It's a beautiful coral leather bag. And how do I figure out what I need? It's a little clipboard, and it's, you know, I take it everywhere.
Yeah.
I tell you, this is simple and it works. And then with my teas, then I call them and I circle their name. But I hope you guys have tea mailings going out so that they get lookbooks. And I send them on T6, not 7. I want to give them plenty of time to get that order ready. So I do T1 and T6 get lookbooks from me. And I have another assistant that does that. And that's all she does for me.
I
So
love that. I love
super
that so
simple.
much. There's so many nuggets. I just know when I attach the recording, I'm going to attach some of that because
Yes.
I know they're going to ask that.
This is very, very enlightening for people. You know, you got to break it down in how many order. And like, if you have a goal of 10,000 wholesale or whatever your goal is, you divide that by about 400, and that will kind of tell you how many people you need to order, because you guys have to be thinking that way. And just so you know, strategy is not in my top. I'm not a strategy girl. I'm just a relationship person, but I've had to learn how to work those kind of things too when you're going for big goals. So worth it.
Hey, perfect. I love this. Girls, I will get the recording. It always takes my girl because this isn't the day she works, about 24 hours. But Diane, that was phenomenal. And anybody have a question or anything they want to say to Diane to affirm what she trained on today? I want to give a couple minutes for that and answer anything you might need answered. And then I'll I'll kind of put a quick description of what she just did for me with the video in the comments.
Why don't you text me your cell phone?
Okay.
I don't know if I have it, Jennifer, in Boxer, and then I'll take a picture. It's not,
yeah,
that might be a little helpful, maybe.
Well, even the back, like you might not be able to do the front because it has everybody's information, but the back you could, so they could see how you did that. And I'll attach that picture too. I'll do
Real
that.
Sophisticated.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody will come up with a document for it, right?
I'm sure they will, and they have it, but I don't know, for some people, if they see it, that it's something visual for them.
Yep. I am a very simple-minded person. And that's what I think the beauty of it is. It doesn't take a lot of stuff, you guys.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay. Anybody have anything they want to say before we go?
Diane, do you have very many of your consultants actually doing the automated texting?
I don't. I really don't. But they know to use. I have maybe 2 people on Project Broadcast. I think the harder part for them is they have to get a second number. But I do talk to my top people about it. You just have to know if they have to be techie and they have to be the right age to be willing to learn it and do it. But I do love Project Broadcast. It's on my phone. It's simple. And once I show it to them, and it's not expensive. It's not expensive. It's very user-friendly. But I do not have a lot of people. Okay. No, just a couple. And I wish I had more, but I get it. I mean, yep.
Okay, perfect. Love it.
Diane, I love that you separate your unit into A's, B's, and C's. I have that for my clients, those that
Yeah.
purchase a lot, they're my A's, and then, the one that gets a lipstick every year, they're obviously a C. But I love that you did that with your unit too. So those C's are not bombarded with all the stuff that the A's are craving.
Right.
So that's
Right.
amazing. Thank you for that.
You bet. It's so good.
Awesome. Well, ladies, I hope you have an incredible Thursday. And I love these 'cause it kind of gives us a midweek pick me up, right? And then we
Yes.
again. So thank you so much, Diane. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'll get
Bye.
out immediately. I love y'all. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.